Hello! What's up, guys? How we doing? I hope everyone's okay, and I hope I'm not still muted. I'm not sure what's going on. I've had a few technical difficulties because for some reason my TV doesn't work anymore. Or, well, it won't connect to the internet at least. So we have no background. So you're just going to be subjected to my face and also my lights, which I like anyway. So that's alright. But hello there and welcome, foolish mortals, to another random community world building live stream where we're going to actually do something today because we have a plan. There is a plan today. Of course, I'm going to be talking to you guys and acknowledging your theories and your thoughts, your speculations and observations, but we are also going to be expanding on the lore that we have been building over the last couple of months, because soon enough we're going to start working on animating and actually producing a special episode, the first episode of our speculative Little Nightmares inspired DLC. And we already have a character concept and we have an area to explore and to and to creep and crawl our way through, as was inspired and voted on by yourselves, which is excellent because it means that I have had very little input in this, and that's the whole point. I've been doing this for a while. I like doing this. It's good fun. But my series has come to an end. And I've done all of the links and tie-ins that I wanted to do, but I still want more. Because of course we want more. We always want more. It doesn't matter how many comics we get, how many novels, how many games, how many mini-series we get, no matter how many theories or thoughts we get, we'll always want more, right? So, here we are. Welcome, little ones. Let me just do a quick sound check. I hope everybody's doing okay. How are we all? How is everybody? I hope you're all alright. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear the music okay? And is everything visible to you? Are there any problems with the stream that I'm not aware of that I should be made aware of before getting into this? Let me say hello to a few people. Hello, the girly animal. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're alright. Welcome, Catsy. Kit Kat Catsy in here for real. Rexo's in. Hey, Rexo. Gabe Sorrow, what's up? What's up, Larkman? Big ups to you, my friend. Hello, Gummy Shark. It has been a while. I hope you're doing alright. Hello, Aspen Groves. Hello there. What's up, Stinkles? I'm at Boy Scout camp while watching this. Well, I hope you enjoy. Don't let it deter you from your duties, though. If you've got things to do, you've got things to do. Hey, what's up, Alison? How's it going? Little Sasha's in the building as well. What's up, Noah, Master Council Leader Gemini? Great to see you. Hello, Iris Moth. Hello there. Hello, everybody. Today's going to be a fun one. I'm going to be sticking around for about 2 hours, 2 and a bit. I do have some things that I have to do. I do have work tonight, and it's coming up at 9:30, so I really don't want to miss it. I can afford to be a little bit late, but I would thank you kindly for a reminder if we get close to the time and I'm still yapping, because you know what I'm like. I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to stick around for an hour, and then 3 hours later I'm still here yapping, so you know how I be. WLER865. Hello there to you. I'm sorry it makes me say your name like that. It only gives the tag. It doesn't give the actual name that you use on YouTube. You really nice. Well, you've had a busy day, Alison, haven't you? You've been painting all day long. I'm the grub master. I have no doubt, Stinkles. Wait, there won't be any spoilers in this stream, right? Well, there might be a couple. Well, not necessarily spoilers. At least not spoilers for what we're doing, I guess. It's kind of hard to say. Like there potentially will be spoilers for a couple of things, but they won't be intentional, and I will try and call them out. What spoilers are you worried about specifically? If you're being serious, because if you might not be being serious, but comedy doesn't come across in text, so I read that as wait, there won't be any spoilers in this stream, right? I read that as an actual question. And if you're saying that in jest, because obviously there's going to be spoilers because it's Gemini and this is what I do, then it's like, oh no. I don't know if you're being serious. If you're being serious, abandon ship. There could very well be spoilers. But if you're not being serious and that's just gone over my head because I'm autistic as hell, I apologise. And haha. Thank you, Katsy. I appreciate you. What's up, Just GKS? We've got a talented artist in the building at the moment. How are you doing, GKS? I'm looking forward to your contributions. Thank you, Larkman. I appreciate that. I bet a lot of people came back haunted to this stream. You are not wrong, Mochi. You are not wrong. You might say that some of them won't come back the same. I've got fallen asleep considering a cig while I'm you do what you like, but do not promote smoking in my stream. Thank you very much. Nah, if you smoke, you smoke. It is what it is. I personally don't smoke. I'm not one for it, but I know a lot of people that do, and it's each to their own. I have my own reasons. Maybe some spoilers for real, but it depends on what you mean by it. Yeah, indeed. Oh, I think there meant spoilers for Altered Echoes. Not likely, because I am currently not playing Altered Echoes. As much as I want to, I do not possess a VR, nor can I afford one. And I'm watching Just Jord play it. Just Jord is actually going live shortly after I am. And I've been tuning into Just Jord's live streams playing the game. I'm not going to talk extensively about Altered Echoes, and honestly there isn't anything that you guys don't already know. Like, you've already been made aware of the title and the main character and the villains that we're going to face throughout, and I haven't seen the ending yet, so I can't spoil that for you either, so don't worry too much. I can't wait to play Altered Echoes. It looks absolutely dope, and I'm super excited to see how it wraps up. I think tonight is It's Just Jord's final stream. If it is in fact the end of the game. He seems to be closing in on it. I've heard rumour that, well, it was apparently, the developers said it can take up to 6 hours to play, but I've heard people doing reviews saying it only took them like 3 hours, and I think Jord's been playing for the better part of 3 hours now, and much like myself, Jord is a theorist, so he likes to really explore the environments quite thoroughly. And really like go around picking up all the things, finding all the links and stuff that he can find. So I've no doubt that he's going to be doing that quite extensively, which will take up a little bit of extra time. Knowing me, if I did a playthrough, it'd take about 12 hours, because you guys know what I'm like. I'll analyse each and every frame, like, until I'm blue in the teeth, right? Did you guys see that new music video by Little Wolf Productions? Yes, I just watched it today. It looked awesome. I really enjoyed it. I was doing my exercise and I put it on and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Especially what he did with the glitches. Like the glitching remains. That was incredible. I won't spoil it because it is fresh out. I think it's only been out for a day or two. And it's incredible. It really is good. Little Wolf Productions always hits the mark. I cannot get over how good the level of animation is. Little Wolf hits the mark every single time. It is simply incredible. I absolutely love his work. Let's all dance on down. He's great. Oh, that video, right? So the Reanimal music video by JT Music, absolute fire, right? It's so good. Gem, I just want to say that I've had a very bad week in school, and you doing a stream makes that. Oh, I'm so happy that it makes you happy. I'm sorry you're having a rough time at school. Everyone says that school is like the best time of your life and you should really enjoy it, and I agree, you should. But it's not always easy, because oftentimes school sucks, right? But also every day is what you make of it, and I really hope that I'm able to at least bring a smile to your face in some way today, even if it is just with bubble ASMR. Where are we? Ooh. I have a VR, but I'm worried about the price of the actual game. The game, I think, is £25. Works out about $30, something like that. It depends on where you're based. The game isn't particularly expensive. I mean, it's not as expensive as Little Nightmares 3, but it is a little bit more expensive than Little Nightmares 1 and 2 were. But obviously, their price tags have dropped considerably. What's up, Ghoul? How's it going? Hello, Gemini. I'm not finished all the decos yet, but it's been an absolute blast so far. Iconic have done a great job. Yes, I agree. Iconic have done a really good job as well. Now, it's the first time I'm actually hearing of Iconic, but it's because I don't play VR games. I've only ever played one, and it was a really, really long time ago when VR like first came out, and I started exploring it, and I was like, I really like the idea of VR. And I love the level of immersion, but it was still in its infancy, and there wasn't a great deal of oomph behind it. You know, like the games were very limited in their capacity for what they could do. I assume that, well, it's clearly got a lot better given how good Altered Echoes actually is. I'm really enjoying watching Jord play through, but watching someone play it and actually diving into it yourself, it's it hits different, right? What's up, Marto? I wonder if Altered Echoes is the last time we return to 6. It could be, but I doubt it. School kind of sucks, yeah. It did for me. I didn't particularly enjoy school either. It had its good sides and its bad sides, and I met some amazing people. Like, in fact, me having such a bad school life is the reason I love Little Nightmares so much, because of the teacher in the school section. So, yeah, it's all good. Recently been dealing with some pretty bad anxiety in school, but I've been getting help from both my family and my guardians. I'm really glad that you have a counsellor and a supportive network of people, Rexo, because I found that extremely important when I was going through trouble in school. School can be a really difficult time because a lot of the time people say you need a supportive network of friends, and a lot of people like me in school don't have friends, right? And your family don't really get it because they're not there. They don't go to school with you. They don't experience it. And a lot of the time you trying to communicate that you need help and guidance doesn't come across very well. So it's really important that that has been recognised. I would encourage you to be open and transparent with your counsellor about your feelings and the things that are going on, because the only reason I did even remotely well when I was in school was because I was able to be accounted for. They took my mental health into account and my position, my psychology, and the way I worked best, and they accommodated me very, very well. I will never ever forget, my counsellor was a lady named Tanya Evans, and I haven't seen her since I left school, but she was such an amazing, wonderful, supportive person, and I'll never ever forget her because she was the reason I went back to school. I stopped going to school. School got so bad for me that I would actively, we called it skiving or playing truant. Basically, I'd show up at school, I'd sign in, I'd let them register me, I'd let them see me in the morning, and then I'd leave. I'd disappear and go off radar. And I did that for years, literal years, to a point where when I was like 15, 16, I was still operating at like a 13-year-old level. I was dumb. Like, I was thick as bricks because I hadn't learned anything. Because I hated being in school, because every time I tried, I get beaten up or chased around or stabbed. Not joking. But it was an unfortunate circumstance to be in, and I didn't have a very supportive network of people. My family would have been really supportive of me, but I lied to them, and I was not transparent with them, and I used to keep things from them because I thought I would be in trouble. And it wasn't until years later I discovered that my family were actually a very supportive network of people, and they were a good group to be around. So yeah, I would absolutely, I'm really happy that you have found some counsel there, Rexo, and I hope that you pursue it. Iris Moth, hi Gem, I'm happy to say I'm ready to start creating my comics soon. To give people something before the main story, there will be a short prologue to warm into the story. Excellent, Iris Moth, I'm really happy to hear that. Are you going to feature that on your channel? Because I'm excited to read your comic when it comes out. Mochi, Gem, I just want to thank you again for reading my post. I'm really glad. No, your post was absolutely brilliant. I really wanted to read it last time because the last time we were live, I read the opening of it and I was super excited, but I had literally just that morning received the chapter 4, the 4th episode of Descent to Nowhere, and I hadn't had a chance to read it, and I didn't want spoilers. And now that I've read it for myself, and I was able to actually go into your post unhesitantly and read it in full, it was absolutely excellent. You really did cover some amazing facets there. I think you did exceedingly well. I'm very proud of you. I think you did really good. Also, anyone in the chat that is interested in a really, really respectable theory that ties in the Lonely Ones by E.C. Myers novel and the Descent to Nowhere comics, if you're looking for a theory surrounding how the residents become the residents within the Nowhere, I think that Mochi covers it exceedingly well over on their channel. So feel free to check that out after my stream. Don't leave. I don't do it. Watching you. Stay put. I'll tell you when you can leave. For now, we have stuff to do. Teacher is terrifying in VR. The teacher's terrifying anywhere. I truly believe that. I'm still really excited. Despite the new residents in the VR, I'm still really, really excited to see the teacher. Hey Jim, what's your interpretation of Altered Echoes, if you don't mind me asking? I'm saving that, actually, Bookworm. I'm saving that one for a future theory because I haven't got to the end of it yet. Well, I mean, I haven't played it full stop, but I'm watching It's Just Jord play it over on his channel. He's covering it live. He's actually doing it shortly after this stream. Once this stream is concluded, about an hour later, Just Jord is going live and he's going to be covering Altered Echoes VR, and he's pretty much done with it, and I've been watching his playthrough and I refuse to watch anyone else, so I'm going to watch Jord play through it, and then I'll be giving my main opinions on it and everything once I know the ending and how it wraps up, and once I've heard what Jord has to say. So yeah, very much excited to see what goes on there, but I'm reserving my judgment until I've actually seen the ending and how it wraps up, because I don't know how it ends yet. I've got an idea, but I'm not sure. No, Gem, I will not trust Otto. Good shout. Kids seen this and shouted Baldy Head. What's up, wee Baldy Heads? Hello! You guys better be behaving yourselves. What's up, Caleb? How's it going? It really has been a long time, Altak. How you doing? I hope you're alright. Welcome back to the stream. Finally, you're doing this again. Yes, I am. It's about time, right? I did take some time off from this, but yeah, I'm excited to get into it. Gummy Shark, as for school, yesterday was bittersweet because I had to say goodbye to my senior friends. Some of the older folks are leaving, yeah. But it doesn't always mean that you have to wrap up and say goodbye forever. It's a little bit tense because you won't see them in the same environment. But let me tell you this, the ones that matter will still be here in time. It's been a very long time since I left school, and I'm still in touch with the people that really matter. Not quite as fundamentally, because I don't see them every day, and obviously they have their own lives, jobs, even families and homes and things like that, because we're all grown-ups and old people now. So don't worry, the ones that really matter and the ones that really count, they'll still be here. Hey, you didn't miss anything, Vibe Check Man. I'm still saying hi and bye to everybody. We haven't got into the meat and potatoes of this yet at all. I'm literally just making sure everybody gets a polite and friendly greeting because I want to be respectful to my fundamental audience. You guys are the foundation of this channel and I respect that. And we do have something to do today. And I'm going to get into that very shortly. I just wanted to make sure I'm not missing anyone and give everyone a chance to come in, say hi, vent a little bit, tell me how their day's been, and offer a respectful reply. Yes, Noah, I was stabbed. I did get stabbed in school. Yeah, it sucked. But we're not doing that today. I will tell you the story of when I got stabbed if you want, but I've been stabbed more than once. It sucks. I know I'm laughing like I've got to power it off, but it really does suck. It is one of the worst things that can possibly happen to a human being. It was not severe on any of these occasions. I don't want you to worry and think I nearly died. I didn't. It was a very minor stabbing. That seems so weird to say. I was a little bit stabbed. Yes, it'll be on my channel. I'm thinking of making an art style for the prologue, look like one of those shadow puppet plays and make it stand up in the main story. But hey, that'd be really cool, Iris Moth, to make it really diverse and hit it with your own art style. I tell you what, so some of the artists in this community have a very, very authentic art style. Now, I really admire people's, especially artists' ability to replicate familiar art styles. But I tell you, there's some people in this community like Propimal, Kit Kat Catsy, and just GKS, where I can come across a picture. There are people in this community. You could show me a picture and I know who's drawn it. It doesn't matter, like, if I've seen the picture before. It doesn't matter, because their style stands out, and it's like, this is very obviously their piece. You know, like if you look at a Picasso painting, it's like, that's obviously Picasso, or at least Picasso inspired. Like, if someone was to draw a Picasso-inspired painting, you'll be like, oh, that's in the style of Picasso, because he sort of trademarked that style, right? Well, that's what these people have done. Like, Catsy's artwork, you'll see, because I'm going to share some of Catsy's artwork very shortly, in fact. But there's a couple of them, like, a friend of mine, Faceless Art and Skills, she's made some artwork for me before, and her style is impeccable, and it's really, really impressive, but I always know. Like, if someone was to pull up a picture and say, hey, I drew this, and I recognised it as one of Faceless Art's styles, I'd be like, no, you didn't. I know who drew that. I've seen it before. You know, it's weird. It's really weird, but you become sort of intrinsically linked to your own art style. So yeah, I massively respect that. And if you're capable of that, it would be really cool to do, because it really gives the image, it really gives the comic its own style. Like the Descent to Nowhere, they have their own style, right? It's really hard to replicate. Catsy throws shoes at them. Oh Christ, what's that? Sorry if you guys can hear that. I'm just hearing bang, bang, bang. I'm pretty sure it's an asshole in a car going. Well, you can never be too sure. I think we're good. God damn it. Make me duck under my desk in the middle of my stream, you fucking morons. Anyway, where were we? Hey, Puppy Queen, how's it going? Ali said, aye. Love to see a lot of people coming back after such a long time. How's your mum? How's moving out? My mum is doing really well. She's actually, I took her a treadmill a couple of weeks ago, and she's been really getting into that. So she's like trying to get her movement and a mobility back up again. Thank you so much for asking about my mum. She loves reading these messages, especially when people are really nice and friendly to her. Yeah, she's doing really well. The move was a huge pain in the backside, and I hated doing it, but I'm really happy with the place. Like, the new property is fantastic, the office is great, there's been very few teething issues moving in, and the people, like my neighbours and my new landlord and everything, are absolutely fantastic. So yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you asking about that. Everything's going actually really, really good. Where do I find George's playthrough? You'll find it on his channel. Just go to YouTube and type in It's Just Jord. He will be going live tonight shortly after I do. Probably like, I want to say 9 or 10 o'clock. I don't know. He has been going live really late recently. Don't quote me. He's just sort of like... That seems to be the accepted premise, but George is a really, really busy dude as well, so if he doesn't go live, please don't think I've lied to you. I'm just under the general consensus that he will be live after me, and I spoke to George shortly before this stream as well, and he said that he is considering going live shortly after I do, so stay tuned for that. In fact, if the link comes up, like if I get a notification of George's live stream before I end this one, I will include a link to his thing. In fact, I think George's link, I think there is a link to George's channel in my description currently, because I make a point of thanking George in every single video that I do in one way or another, because Jord inspired me to do what I do. Without It's Just Jord, I wouldn't have 30 of you guys chilling out with me right now, because I'd have never been inspired to pursue Little Nightmares content to the degree that I do. Just Jord was literally the foundation of that. So yeah, I will always shout him out. He deserves all the respect and all the comeuppance. He's a brilliant, brilliant man. By the way, I recently rewatched your first Let's Play on both Little Nightmares games, and it's an absolute blast. Oh my god, that must be absolutely hilarious, Caleb. I bet I was fat then as well. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm looking for the camera. It's because my face is over there. I can see my face here, and I'm like, do I look fat at the moment? Am I like what? So I was really out of shape for a while, especially when I first started doing YouTube. I was quite a chunky boy, and I hated my face. Like, I hated my appearance on camera. I didn't like the way I looked, and I felt really uncomfortable in my own skin. So I started working out, and I eventually got fit and like figured out my body and everything like that. But it's really strange to look at myself now versus then, because back then I didn't have any facial hair. I just had chins, like an excess of chins. I am actually carrying a bit of extra weight at the moment because I've just come off a bulk, and I am getting shredded for the summer, or at least I will be in the next 2 to 3 months. I'm going to be absolutely ripped, I hope. That's the plan, if I can stick to my diet and workout routine. Zion, what's your Discord channel name or your email address? The Discord is Gemini540, and my email address is this one. If you want to submit characters and such to me for consideration, this is my email address. You guys can feel free to email me. Well, email me anything you like. I check it regularly, but I don't respond to them often. But if you send me pictures of your OC characters, or environments, or residents, or anything that you would like to be considered for this up-and-coming community world-building Little Nightmares series that we're all working on together, feel free to send that to me. Also, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Katsy, for having my back in there and letting people know. Katsy will also be a co-collaborator on this project too. So a lot of my details you can get through Katsy if you need. Oh my days! Hello, it's you again, Katsy. Jesus Christ! Wait! Stop. Chat is moving. For you, Gemini, Mama Gemma Luna, let's get Gemini a VR. Hope this helps. It very much does. It is a huge help to me. I actually have a small announcement to make in a little while. It won't be like today. It might not be for another month or so, but I'm very much looking forward to making this little announcement to you guys. I'm super excited. Katsy, thank you so much. That is huge. Absolutely massive. Let me get some eyeball. You guys already know there's already eyeballs in the chat. Look at you guys. You guys, eyeballs in the chat for Kit Kat Katsy. What an absolute legend. Thank you so much, honey. I really appreciate that. Big W's for Katsy in the chat there. If you keep making donos like that, I will have a VR before long. Legitimately, you're gonna single-handedly buy me a VR headset. No, you didn't need to, for real. This is the thing. That's why it's so much appreciated. You don't need to. Hey, g'day. Good day, Nevada. How you doing? Hope you're alright. Yeah, massive W. Look at all these eyeballs. You guys know the drill. Aspen, you know the drill. Garden knows the drill. Oh, what's up? Man, that's so relatable. I never want to show my body off, but I'd always keep a hoodie on in summer weather until it wasn't. My mum got me these fishnet gloves for my birthday. I felt confident. I'm really glad that you found some confidence in yourself, puppy. The thing is, it's not even about body shaming. It's not about, oh my god, I was so ugly because I was fat. It wasn't that. It was that I felt uncomfortable. Like, there is nothing wrong with being comfortable in your own body. Don't get me wrong, I will never ever promote someone being unhealthy. If someone's morbidly obese and like drastically overweight and it would serve their health and their mental well-being to lose some weight and to get fitter, I will say it. It might hurt their feelings, but I would rather hurt your feelings than watch you die, right? And the thing is, I was that heavy. Like, it's not an exaggeration. The video is on my channel. You can see how big I was and how uncomfortable I was. I was like getting ready to pass out going upstairs and stuff. My diet was so unhealthy that my insides were deteriorating. My blood work was appalling. My fitness and cardiovascular was embarrassing. And like, even furthermore, my teeth. Like, my teeth are not great, and it's because I would consume copious amounts of sugar. This is zero sugar, this doesn't count, and it's my cheat day, I'm allowed. Usually this is full of water, don't at me. Anyway, but it's all about feeling confident and fit in your own body. It doesn't necessarily have to be you have to get jacked, otherwise you're ugly all the time. It can be as simple as wearing your hair a different way, or modifying what kind of makeup you wear, or even just what clothes you like. Like today I'm wearing a shirt. I wanted to wear a shirt today because it's kind of warm in this room because I've had the heater on full blast because I'm a complete reptile. And the sun has been out all day. People are like, Gem, you must be sweating to death. And I'm like, yeah, but I like it warm. But I've decided to wear a shirt because I felt happy and confident today. I felt better in the shirt because I worked out yesterday and I've managed to fill out the sleeves nicely, and I'm not going to flex again because I look like an idiot when I do it. Gemini, how do you cope with desperately wanting to release something but not being able to because it's unfinished? Every day I feel like I'm trying to claw its way out of my brain. It's really difficult, but I'll tell you what you've got to do is I try and effectively communicate with myself. And I find it really easy to do that on account of the fact that I'm a schizophrenic. And I can have a conversation with all 12 of my other personalities and like open it up. I find it helps to write about it and review it for yourself. Read your own work as if you were a fan. When I make a video, I watch it back and I review it and I try and think, is that consistent? Like, if I was watching this as an outsider who wasn't familiar with this character, would this scene have the impact I want it to? You know, the keys of music hitting where I need them to. Is there an emotional tie to this character? Have we been able to build a bond? Is this link recognizable to anybody, or is it so very niche that only the absolute mega fans would get it? Review your own work. It's very, very difficult to swallow because sometimes, like, I've currently got a character who I've been working on for about 6 months. I think this character is amazing and I love them and I can't wait to promote them and show them to you guys. But because it's an unfinished concept, it might change, right? So yeah, you have to bear that in mind. Just try and recognize that patience is key, and you need to go at it with balance in mind. You have to consider that you might love everything about this character, but if you haven't given them time to cook, you may release it too early. And you may notice inconsistencies that you're not quite happy with. Maybe you would have liked to change something about this character, but you've released it too early and you're too late. You have to be able to take a step back and look at it with a critical mind. Critique your own work. I will often look back at characters I've made or stories I've come up with, and I will critique them as if I hate this story and I hate the video and I hate the creator. I'll look at it and be like, nah, this sucks because of X, Y, and Z. And I'll list out reasons why people might not like my video or might not like my character. And then I try and justify them in my mind. And if it's justifiable where the scales are weighed, like, actually, that does make sense because, you know, I've overstepped the boundary, or I've pulled too much out of the law, or I've changed too much of the actual recipe that really works for Little Nightmares. So by introducing this character, I've thrown everything off balance and I've ruined it. And my audience are going to see that. If I can see that, sure as hell you guys can see that. So maybe I should tone it down a little bit, restrict the character's powers or their insights or the impact they have. It's also very important to remember that your character is not the main character. No matter what, no matter their powers, they can be the main character of their chapter and their story, absolutely. Much like Six was the main character of hers, Mono is the same character of his, and my OC Legion will be the main character in his story. But that's their own stories. They're not the main character in the Nowhere. The Nowhere is the main character. The Little Nightmares universe is the main character, and our OC visitors and residents, they're just very small pieces of a much bigger picture, and it's very important to remember that. If you try and take the Nowhere and make it your own, that can be really dangerous, and it can rub a lot of people up the wrong way. It's about remembering your place. You get a corner of the Nowhere, and it's yours to do with what you want, and you can form your own twisted branch of it, and you can go off in your own direction, create your own characters, environments, and your own residents the same way we are today. But what we will not be doing is overstepping any boundaries and changing any of the canon, because then otherwise everyone will hate it. Or at least the majority of people hate it. Because they'll be like, wait a minute, how did your character kill 6? Why did your character kill 6? What gives your character the right to kill 6? Who are you? You know? Like, who am I to kill off one of the main characters? Or, you know, it doesn't make sense. So, you get what I'm saying anyway, and I am going off on a tangent and missing everybody. Forgive me. Finally found a way to put my English Lit A levels to good use. Those lessons on settings, characterization, narrative, and symbolism. I finally used it. It's about time. I'm still waiting for a chance to use algebra. By the way, Gemini, I had to leave wrestling and do some health concerns, but due to that, because of that, I don't really feel comfortable in my own skin. Do you have any workouts to recommend? Yeah, absolutely. Bookworm, it all depends on what your goal is physically. Like, it depends if you want to lose weight, gain weight, get jacked, get skinny. It all depends on what you want, but I'm more than happy to discuss that with you at length. Maybe not now, but feel free to message me on Discord for any kind of fitness and nutrition advice and things like that. I will help you as best I can. I must profess that I am not a doctor of any description, nor am I a PT. I'm just a fitness enthusiast who's got some pretty admirable results of my own. I can share what worked for me, I can share what might work for you, and I can make some recommendations based on what's worked for me, but I can't promise it'll work for you. I can't promise you'll enjoy what I did, but I'm more than happy to share it with you, absolutely. It waves. How does the ocean say hi? Yeah, it waves. Getting flashbacks to making garden. Yeah, exactly, right? Anyone know where you can get the Little Nightmares comic? Gamer Treg, you can get it on, well, I get mine from titancomics.com. Or Forbidden Planet. Forbidden Planet are usually who deliver my Titan X comics. Gemini, have you seen Invincible? Funnily enough, no, but I've been watching, I watched a game theory, well, I actually woke up to a game theory of it the other day, and I was like, this looks dope, why haven't I seen this? It's because I don't get a lot of time to watch TV, nor do I have Netflix, but I have been tempted to watch Invincible. It's just finding the time to actually sit and watch something is really difficult for me, because I never stop doing stuff. But it is definitely something I'm interested in, especially considering there's a character in it I've seen advertised recently called Thrag, and he's apparently just super hardcore, and I want to know if he's beatable, and I'm like, well, I want to know the story behind this dude before I actually start, like, researching it. So I turned off game theory, and I was like, I'm going to check this out at some point. But yeah, I'm not familiar with Invincible's story. I just know that there's some dudes called Viltrumites, and they are essentially like evil Superman. Can you send your Discord link here, please? I don't know if I can, saying. I don't know if it'll let me. I don't, because the thing is, I've never added anyone on Discord, so I don't know if it'll work. But I think if you do at Gemini540 like this, I think if you type that into Discord, you can find me. I don't know, forgive me, I'm not very good with Discord. I literally use it as an advertising platform. I don't add anyone, I never have. I accept friend requests as they come through, but I've never actively searched for anybody to look for. But yeah, feel free to add me on Discord if you want to. My replies, I will try to reply to you. It's just I get so many messages come through like every single day that it's really hard to keep up with, so I do apologise, but I promise I will get back to you. And if you want to just add me on Discord so that you can send me your work, you know, like fan art or Little Nightmares concept art or something as a contribution to this kind of stream where we do world building and character development and stuff like that, you can feel free to send me those all the time, and I will usually respond by just sending you an eyeball to be like, I've seen it, thank you very much, but I'm also trying to reply to 820 other people, so please don't feel like I'm being disrespectful. It's actually one of the main reasons I take so much time in the meet and greet portion of my streams, is so that you guys can talk to me and I'll talk back. Like, I dedicate this time of my week to talking to you guys in real time, because replying to messages and stuff like that over the course of the week, I just don't do it. I don't have time. I work 2 jobs, 14 hours a day, back to back, on top of being a YouTuber, working out, and then doing some side hustle as well, because I'm a video editor for a couple of other content creators like the Notorious Bass and Casual Hardcore Gamers and things like that. So I'm literally non-stop all the time, so please don't think me ignorant. If you ever want to talk to me, weirdly enough, the best place to do it is right here, right now. I honestly wish I was good at art since I have a monster design, but there's no way I can actually draw it. That's actually my difficulty, Noah, is that I am not a particularly good artist. I'm fortunate enough to know a lot of very talented artists, and I can pitch the idea to them. It's another reason why I don't mind AI. And I know that's really controversial, but if you're not an artist and you don't have the means to pay an artist, at least not straight away, if you have a concept in mind that you'd really like to share, but you absolutely have no means of putting it on paper, I will accept an AI generated image, but make sure you tell me it's an AI generated image. Don't try and pass it off as your own, because I will just straight up block that. I will not tolerate that at all. I believe AI is a fantastic tool, and it can and should be used sparingly. I use it myself. I've had to in the past because I have a limited budget and not particularly great talent when it comes to artwork. But when offered the means to do so, I will pay and I will collaborate with artists who will do the job for me, because you absolutely should be support. I don't think that's what AI should be used for, and it is absolutely a tool. If you don't have the means to create a character concept, but you have it in mind, and you feel like you could generate a prompt to send to me and let me see it, I'd be more than happy to accept that, and I won't berate you like, oh my god, I can't believe you used AI. That's so cheap. Because I've used AI where I've had to, because I lacked the talent and the funds, and that is perfectly acceptable. Just make sure you communicate that, and do note this as well. If you create a character concept and I show it to the audience and it gets voted in and everybody loves it, the concept will be redrawn by an actual human artist. It won't be AI generated. It won't be something, so it might take a bit longer, and it might mean that the actual concept design wise is out of your hands, because I will take it with your permission, of course, because it's your idea, and if it's voted in, if you've submitted it to be to be a part of a future video, then you're essentially saying, here's my design. You become like an executive on it, so you can tell me all about this character, and I'll try and adhere to their law as best I can, but I'll hand off the design to one of the senior artists on the project, who will redraw it in their own style, so that we don't have to depend on the generative AI, so that we can actually give the work to a human artist and pay them for their time and their efforts, rather than just AI generate everything. Because again, I don't feel like that's what it should be used for. I feel like it's a tool to bridge a gap, that's all. Just make sure you communicate it, that's all. But I'm more than happy to receive your images if you're not an artist. I know a lot of you guys are not artists, but there's a lot of you guys that are. Even if your work isn't particularly good, my work isn't particularly good, I'm just fortunate enough that I can show my doodles and scribbles to artists like Catsy, like Propimol, like GKS, and they can recreate it at a much more nominal level than I can. As Catsy says, she can take my design and make it less shit. And I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of artists in here that you communicate with that would be more than happy to take some of your less than professional work and make it also less shit. I use AI a bit too much, but I think a lot of smaller creators are incentivized to. Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree, because the thing is, if I had the capability, like if I had artists on tap that I could just pay hundreds or thousands of pounds to every single time I needed artwork doing, I'd be more than happy to do that, because I absolutely truly believe that they deserve the support. Some artists work their entire. Both my parents are artists. That's their literal job. Or at least it was before my mum got sick. They depend on their hands and their skills and their capabilities that they've learned over literally decades to perfect. To know that that is being taken away by a machine that can do it in the blink of an eye, it's saddening, really, because a lot of people will just be like, well, why would I pay a phenomenal artist to do it when this machine can do it for £15 immediately? And I get that, and I understand, and I know that we're going to have to climatize to that, but at the moment I feel like it is stealing work away from people that have worked far too hard in a world that has tripped them up. Right? Artists like Catsy and Propimol were professional artists before AI was AI. Like, before it was as good as it is. And don't get me wrong, again, I'm a huge advocate for AI if used under the right circumstances. I just feel like it should be communicated, and you should be transparent about your use of artificial intelligence when it comes to creative works, because it does take a lot of the personality out of your work. That, and the truth is, as good as generative AI is at the moment, people can spot it a mile off. If I showed you an AI generated image next to one drawn by a real person, you would be able to tell. You really would. Especially you younger guys out there. Like, if I showed it to my mum, she'd really struggle. But if I showed it to one of you young guys that is more up to date with current affairs and things like that, you'd be able to spot AI a mile away. All right then, guys. Let me just make sure I haven't missed anybody. I'm making a rough sketch of one of my boss ideas. I bet you'll love it. I'm saying from a different account. Hey, no problem, saying. I appreciate that, and thank you for letting me know. Gemini, show them Michael. I'll show them Michael. Okay. All right then. Let's see. Propimal does cook. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Propimal is usually my go-to artist. She was the artist who helped me alongside Faceless Art and Skills on the original Little Nightmares DLC project that I made that was 6 episodes long. It's absolutely brilliant. Won't spoil anything about it. I will say this game is going to leave you with more questions and answers. Good! We thrive off that. What's up, Lux Bennett Atlas? How's it going? Hope you're doing alright. Trying to commission is hard sometimes. I looked at free commission artists and have messaged many of them to have my profile picture drawn and never got any answers, so I ended up asking my friend. Yeah, it's difficult because obviously art is hard and it takes a really long time, and so to pay someone in exposure is really difficult. Up and coming artists might accept it, but a lot of the time, if it's going to take you a long time to do and it takes a particular level of talent to get, you've got to be really, really close to someone for them to agree to offer their time and service, especially to that level, for free. And it's understandable. So obviously, if you can't pay them, then you've got to be able to offer them something to the value of, right? So for instance, if I was to work with GKS, for instance, I might be like absolutely broke, but I'm like, GKS, I need you to produce 10 professional level images for me, but I have no money. What can we do? And GKS would be good enough to talk to me, and we could probably come to some kind of agreement, wherefore I would help to promote his channel or his work or his sculptures or something like that, or maybe a payment scheme or something that we could register, just so that everybody is kept on the level, because I wouldn't want anyone to feel hard done by, or like someone is getting more out of a project than anybody else. Yes, Kit Kat Catty is in fact a shoe monster. It has been confirmed by the devs. Alright then, guys, so I'm just going to do, I'm going to change over my display real quick. I'm going to move this. I'll try and put chat on screen if it'll let me, but I'm going to open this. And we're going to try and find some inspiration together. So let me just make sure this works. There you go. Diddle-doo, diddle-doo. If I go whomp. Alright, success. Alright, now you have small gem. Here I am. And I'm going to go through a couple of artworks that have been prepared by Catsy for this work that we're doing, because what we're going to be working on today is coming up with concept ideas for the residents that we are going to encounter in this first episode in the hotel. The hotel is going to be outside the nowhere. So just to recap, this is Frill. Okay, this is Frill, and this is the character that Catsy designed and you guys voted for the last time, and episode 1 is going to follow the story of Frill in the nowhere. She's a ballerina character, and she has a quirk, and that quirk is that whenever she hears music, she has to dance. Like, physically cannot stop herself from doing so. And so some of the puzzles and some of the nuance to this chapter are going to involve navigating that quirk. This is her finished design for Frill. I have several of these. I haven't saved them all in this archive folder because there's a lot that we are going to share and we're going to try and mix up. You won't get to see everything in this, but this is just to give you guys an idea of where we're at, and this is a recap. So this is Frill, and this is her finished design. This is Frill's crawling animation, because you know how we have a ducking animation for Six and Mono and Runaway Kid and Low and Alone. When they crouch, they sort of crouch walk. Well, Katsy actually thought it would be a really cool concept and idea if Frill, instead of crouch walking, does like an elegant crawl through the vents and things like that instead. So she crawls on her hands and knees, just to add a different level of animation to this concept. And I really liked that, and I thought it was cool, so I thought I would share it with you guys. This is the hotel. So this is Katsy's first design for what the hotel will look like, and this is going to be like the outside of it. Hope you guys can see it. Now, there's a bunch of different things here that we can see that are linked, like mostly to my channel. Okay, and I'm not going to talk too much about the exterior of the hotel. It's more about what's in it, because we already know. House is shaking. 1 second. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're going to die? No? Okay, mild tremor. That was interesting. Bloody hell. Okay, am I still connected to the internet? I hope so. Sorry, guys, just give me a quick holler. Let me just bring chat back up real quick. Yeah, so my house just shook, and I don't know why. I think it was a very, very minor earthquake, but everything just started to, like, rattle a little bit. Just let me know if I'm still live. Are we good? Chat stopped and it's frightened me. Oh, there we go. Rexo's in. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. That was really weird. The house just decided to go off on one for a minute there. Let's see. Yeah, earthquake, but very, very minor earthquake. It was a tremor, I think. It gave everything a little bit of a shake. It gave my house a little bit of a rattle, but we're safe. It seems good. I'm listening for aftershock, though. Yeah, bye, Jem. Just like, wish me luck. Don't worry, I'm immortal anyway. It's all good. If the house starts to collapse, I may lose connection, and then I'll be pissed. But otherwise, the world can go ahead and shake as long as it doesn't interrupt my stream. So, this is the hotel. But now, what I want you guys to consider is all of the different residents that we could have in this area. Okay, a hotel is a very, very large and very, very diverse atmosphere, which is really cool. The difficulty we might find with thinking of residents in a hotel is that a lot of them we've already met, in a sense, because the mall was kind of like a hotel. It had chefs. The hotel has chefs. It has janitors. The mall had janitors. It has like a big boss, like the lady who's in charge, and the lady is there. It has a bellman, you know, like a receptionist kind of person. That's the wax bellman, who I know wasn't featured, but is already sort of... We can't really steal the concept of the wax bellman and put it into this. Even though he wasn't necessarily used, it's still something that I wouldn't feel comfortable putting into this, just because it's not mine, and it's not ours. Like, none of us came up with wax bellman. Even though we could kind of link him in one way or another, and I feel like that would be cool, I feel like his place is on the mall. And we could argue that this place come before the mall or after the mall, or something like that. You know, he left the mall, or this happens before the mall, before he melted and became wax. You know, there's a bunch of other things that we could say. You know, we could tie the bellman into this area, but I think if we're going to have a receptionist of some description, it can't be the wax bellman, because the idea of having this area and this stream is that it's got to be our own. Okay, it has to be our own characters, our own residents, our own environments. It's all got to be our own. It can be based within the nowhere, but that's about all we can do, because we don't want to step on anyone's toes or overstep any boundaries and run the risk of conflicting law implications. So we're going to come up with new characters. Now, Katsy's already done us some justice in that regard, because there's a couple of different areas. Now, your job, you guys, this is what I want you to do. I want you to think about all of the different people and all the different roles you would find within a hotel environment, and I want you to pitch them in chat. Come up with your own ideas, your own thoughts, and share what you think. Like, this is one that I'll share that Katsy made that I think was really, really cool. This right here is Katsy's idea for the housekeeper. She's like the maid, the person, the lady who cleans the rooms and things like that. So she would be she'd be like, the head cleaning lady, and she goes around and she's got very much supervisor vibes, in my opinion. She goes around on wheels. There's only part of her body that's visible, and she's like, her entire being is dedicated entirely to her work, much as the other residents are, which I feel fits the nowhere particularly well. I really, really love this concept. Katsy's come up with a couple of different designs because she's been made aware of this project before you guys did, but this is just to, I'll show you this one because it's just to give you an idea of the recipe. Because this right here, this is a fully functional character that I can 100% see working within this environment and giving our character Frill a really, really hard time. What do you guys think of this concept by Katsy, and does it inspire you guys to think of any of your own? What else might we find as far as residents go within a hotel environment? What do you think? Can the hotel be an infinite hotel? Well, it can definitely have some maze-like qualities to it because it's in the nowhere. So what we could do is we could definitely give it like a H.H. Holmes kind of vibe and play on that it's like, for those of you guys that don't know H.H. Holmes, he built a hotel and he had like several teams of builders come in, and then he used it to kill dozens of people. Potentially hundreds of people. He was like the first serial killer ever. I'm paraphrasing because I don't know the full story of it, but as far as I know, it was like a house of mysteries. His hotel had rooms specifically designed to trap and corner people, and walls that moved. So you would walk into one room and close the door, and then when you opened the door again, it was just a solid wall. It's like, how did that happen, and why did that happen, and what's going on? And he'd have staircases that go to nowhere, and attic like stairs that just drop off into garbage chutes that lead all the way into the basement. So like, if you got to the top of the stairs, you can't even see. It's like, oh my, don't kill me. Yeah, so Alison, right? Thank you very much, and I very much appreciate you, but I also know your money situation. That will be the one and only donation I'll accept from you. If I get another one, I'm going to ban your ass. I'm talking serious. I mean it. Thank you, and I very much appreciate it, but be careful with your money. I know where you're at, and I know when you get paid. Stop. But thank you. Thank you very, very much. It's very much appreciated. A security guard, someone who watches over the hotel cameras at night. I like that. That's cool. That's right. I'm writing that down. Oh, let's just night watchman, right? Like a night security guard. Night security. Yeah, someone for watching over the cameras and the security of the hotel. I really like that. That is a really cool design. And it also adds a little bit more to the sort of supervisor-esque inspired vibe that this whole area is going to give off. Because obviously, you're going to know that even if you're not currently being chased, you're still being watched. Right, I believe, in fact, in the concept art for the inside of the hotel. So this is a reception area that Katsy drew for me as well, which I think is really cool. And there's a lot of little Easter eggs hidden within this image that you guys might get to notice. I've already been made privy to them. I'm not going to spoil them here because they are going to tie into the story and the adventure that Frill's going to go on. So I don't want to break down too much of these images. I just need you guys to see them so that you'll get a better idea of where the story's going and the layout of the hotel and what we're going to expect. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these concepts and images are going to change, and they are going to be swapped around, and they're going to be made a bit more linear, just so that the story makes makes sense from a progressive standpoint, right? I don't want you to just like, go over bounce from room to room to room for random arbitrary reasons. I want the story to make sense, and I want it to be logical to follow. So that's something that we're going to try and stick with here. Stinkles, the first serial killer ever was Lou Pengley. Oh yeah, you're right, absolutely. Yeah, sorry about that. I think H.H. Holmes was was America's first serial killer. I think. Forgive me. Again, I don't know the story. I am absolutely paraphrasing, but it's something that I found fascinating. Another thing that I randomly woke up listening to that I thought was really cool. The receptionist, male, tight face, uses his desk items as weapons, uses a desk bell to stun Frill. That's cool, Mochi. I like that. That's actually a really nice idea. Let's see now. Um, wait. Night security guard. Who came up with the security guard one? I forgot that I've got to. I want to credit you guys if these get used. Where is go up? Where is how is? Yes. No. Oh, wait, there. Wait, was it this one? Maybe concierge, no, bartender. Yeah, bartender. I like concierge. I like these are ones that are coming up quite frequently. I'm liking it. Small question: will the hotel be first chapter? I.e., most. Yeah, absolutely, Spit. It will be the first chapter. There will be other ones in later episodes. So they're not all gonna take place in the hotel. Though we may revisit the hotel in later episodes. The first one is going to surround Frill, and her story is going to take place within the hotel. I can't find it. Please, whoever was first to mention the security guard, please let me know because I'd really like to credit you if that design is used in the future. And also this one about the receptionist was Mochi's idea. So Mochi, and receptionist. And using the bell is quite a good idea as well because obviously there is a reception bell and that is very common even to this day. In hotels these days, you can use a bell to get the receptionist's attention because a lot of the time in hotels, receptionists have more than one duty. Their job isn't just to sit on the reception all day long. They also have to go around the hotel and serve to other duties, take phone calls and bookings and things like that. So they're not always available ready on the desk. So you have to ding ding. So this could actually be a weapon for the receptionist, especially considering Frill, our main character, has a quirk that she responds really, really well to sound. Now, I know the bell isn't necessarily music, but it does serve to include that she would have some kind of adverse reaction to the sound the bell makes. Mm. Yes, you like my idea. I did, puppy. I did. I do have a description. I could always post it on my channel or just send it in snippets here. Feel free to share it here, Noah. Obviously, the chat's going quite quick, and I'm sort of like, oh, a singer in the basement. Oh, a singer. Ooh, Smith. Smith might just have last boss material there, Catsy, because obviously, a singer or a performer of some. Oh, we can't use the performer. We can use the singer though. Smith. Let me write your full name so I can credit you accurately. Smat Ajar 2887. Singer. Yes, I like the idea of a singer, especially being one of the later bosses that Frill's going to have to face because obviously her quirk being that she has to dance when confronted with music of any description is going to make the singer a very, very formidable character and really difficult to fight. And it could also tie into the reasons that she's in the nowhere. The trauma that brought Frill to the nowhere in the first place is likely going to be related to music in some way or another, especially considering she has a ballerina concept about her and she reacts negatively towards music in a way that she dances under a hypnotic trance when subjected to it. I like that. That's really cool. health inspector. The chef kills and infects him. Maybe a basement area can be flooded with still water, and you've got to avoid touching the water and go to the floor. Puppy, this is actually another concept that I really, really like, and we've actually explored a little bit too. Right here is the pool. And this is a pool section that was right. Obviously, Catsy's thrown in a couple of little Easter eggs in here. You might be able to spot one right there. That right there is mine. That's my bubble cup. Mm. But the hotel that I used to work in as a lifeguard and fitness instructor, I actually worked in the pool area down there as well. So this is something that I'm very familiar with, and I would really like to work on. That's going to be really cool. So I thought about maybe having a lifeguard character, and Katsy actually designed one that I have not put in the archive, and I'm going to save that for a revelation at a later date if we decide to use it. What do you guys think? Because I'm going to let you guys vote as well. It won't be today because obviously I'm going to take everything you guys have said into account, and then the ones that come up the most that really resonate with me, the ones that I'm writing down here, are all going to be designs, especially considering some of you guys are going to want to draw these concepts and send them to me, and I'm really looking forward to seeing those as well, because ideally I'd like to have images like this. So what the way it'll work is, like the last time we did something like this, we shared the OC submission, so you guys put your characters up here. So we had Nancy and Mercus and Garden and Frill, and those were like the top submissions that we whittled it down to, and then I put them all up in a poll and let you guys vote on it, and Frill ended up winning that one. And the same thing we did with the hotel. We had a couple of ideas for like the hotel, the cul-de-sac, the orphanage, a couple of other places like that. We voted on that, and the hotel one, and we're all going by the majority vote. And I want to go by the majority vote because I want to let everybody have their say and let everybody contribute something to it. And if you can contribute on a level where you can actually draw the character concept and give me a description of them, like let's use Garden for instance. So this one here is by Aspen Groves, who's currently in the chat right now. This is their character Garden, and they give us a full description and an artistic rendition. Okay, and that is ideal. That's absolutely brilliant because I can work with that, because then I can pitch this character to you guys as an audience and say, what do you guys think of this particular character? And I can give a good pitch as to why you might like them. So yeah, and Frill was the same, and the rest of them were the same, and that's what we're going to do. These are in fact some of my monsters that I had Prop Him all draw. This is the nurse for some inspiration. That's my nurse concept. Based on a design from the Little Nightmares 2 art book that you guys might recognise. This is the Mimic, which is basically like a homeless guy that would live in the wilderness, and he'd actually be kind of a rival resident to the Hunter, and a little bit more of like a primal, cerebral kind of creature with its own instinct and such. This is the Fireman, another really like strange and nuanced individual that takes place that I thought would fit really nicely into the Little Nightmares electronic comics. And he was the creature in that was largely unseen and implied to be the Thin Man, but I thought it would be really cool if we could change it to fit the storyline a bit better, and I ended up coming up with this character that was drawn for me. Well, I drew it originally, and then I sent my not so great design to Prop Him all, and then she drew this. So yeah, but just to serve as a little bit of inspiration, there's some of the designs that we have right there. And obviously this is the one that Katsy made of the maid, or the housekeeper. I like the housekeeper as a name. The manager, a lean figure who stays in his chair for so long that he's stuck to the chair. Yeah, I like that as well. I do like the idea of having a character that is like trapped. Someone that can't move. And it's like, well, how threatening can they be? But because they're the manager, they might have a particular power that like summons other creatures. Like they could summon hotel guests, for instance, or they could summon room service. So Lux. Where's your full name? Lux Bennett Atlas. Atlas. The manager. And yeah, if any of you guys really like these concepts that are being discussed and you have artistic qualities about you, then feel free to draw up some of these designs in your own way. Like, think about the description, like the sort of description Lux Bennett Atlas has just given there about the manager, is a lean figure who stays in his chair for so long that he's stuck to it. So you guys could use that description to come up with an idea and be like, right, you know what, if you guys really like that idea, the professional artists or the better artists in the chat right now, you guys could draw that concept and send it to me and say, look, this is based on Lux Bennett Atlas's idea, and this is my rendition of it. What do you think? And then when I've got an image, I can then put that up in the poll and let you guys vote on whether or not it should be included in this first episode. Is the hotel in the town? Yes, it's going to exist on the outskirts of the Pale City by the waterfront on the opposite side to where Mono and Six pull in on the boat. No, don't ban me. Oh my days, we are blessed with the presence of the enormous fortitude of It's Just Jord. Hello there, sir. Welcome to the stream. Just Jord is in the chat. Let me get some eyeballs in there for the man himself who inspired this very stream. It's Just Jord. Hello there, my friend. So for those of you guys that don't know, and I'm sure each and every single one of you do, I am not playing Little Nightmares Altered Echoes VR on account of the fact that I do not possess a VR, but I am watching It's Just Jord play through the game currently. He's not finished it yet, but he's going live shortly after I wrap up this evening. So once this stream is concluded, you guys should hop over to George's channel, which is linked in the description below this video. And any of you guys that have George's channel on there, feel free to share it, because I'm going to be over there checking out his live stream, because I want to know how Altered Echoes ends. And I don't know yet, because I wanted to avoid spoilers and I only want to watch George play it. If I can't play it myself, George is going to be my go-to, as he should be yours as well. He served as the inspiration for this channel, and he's a straight-up gent. George, welcome your face, and thank you so much for stopping in. What an absolute honour and a privilege it is to have the man himself in my chat. Look at the eyeballs in here. Look at the eyeball. I'm going to put some in myself. Boom. There you go. The man himself. What time period is the hotel taking part in? That is a really good question, Idiotic Bookworm. I really like that. That's a really, really interesting thought. That's something that's going to be discussed a little bit later on, but because time seems non-linear in the nowhere, we can be quite clever with that. We don't want it to overlap too heavily with existing law, because we don't want to step on anyone's toes. Like I say, we're not trying to tie in too much of it. It's all right to have subtle links, but we don't want to use any particular. That's the reason why the hotel is in the Pale City, but it's going to take place in a branch of the Pale City that we have not explored in the canon as Mono or Six or any of the other characters, because we don't want to tie it in too intrinsically to a point where we can't change it. Because we don't want to run the risk of any of the existing characters running into any of our non-canon characters and then overstepping the boundary of, well, this is absolutely not realistic. The reason I was able to get away with doing that with my original concepts for the Little Nightmares DLC expansion when I did my series was because I was using existing characters who already had ties to existing characters, like they already existed in the canon. And it was purely speculative anyway, and I announced that before each and every video, just to be 100% sure that I wasn't stepping on anyone's toes, and I reviewed those vehemently. Hey Gemini, I'm Cyan, my other account is Smita. Please write Cyan except Smita. Also, please unfreeze me, I won't spam again. Oh, I did not freeze you. I don't know why it did, but yeah, I hope that's okay. So instead of Smita, Cyan. There you go. Because you came up with the concept for the singer, which I have written down there, which I really, really like. When I was thinking of the manager, I was thinking of the principal Little Nightmares too. Yeah, actually, that's the same kind of... that was the image I had in my head initially when you said he's stuck to the chair, because the principal doesn't seem like a particularly aggressive character, but he definitely has some presence about him, especially within the school. Alison, what did I say? And right, this... I told you this, I told you what would happen. This is going to happen. So, love, like... Time out. You're in time out for time. I told you what would happen if you donated to me. I really appreciate it and thank you so much. But I know because, like, and the reason I'm saying this is because Alison recently communicated to me that she's having issues with money. If you are struggling financially, the worst thing you can possibly do with your money is give it to my ass. Don't do it. But thank you, and I appreciate you. But also banned. And that's the lesson. Gemini follows through on his threats. Alison be the sacrifice today. No, you know what? She's not even. She's not even. She's just extra protein for the moment. And I know she's probably freaking out at the moment because she's banned as well. Oh, but yeah, let me get some eyeballs and W's in the chat for Alison, because the thing with people like Alison is unfathomably kind and exceedingly generous and very, very sweet. But Alison would rather give, like, if Alison was starving to death and all she had left was that £1 and I asked her for that £1, she'd give it to me rather than buy food. And while I love and respect that as a person, I also know what it's like to be that person where you're in debt trying to keep everyone else afloat. And I absolutely refuse to be the reason someone is struggling. I very much appreciate it. I really, really do. And I love that you are that unfailingly kind and you have such an unwavering loyalty to me and the channel and supporting me as a friend. And it is brilliant. But also, if you're struggling and you've communicated to me that you're struggling, it doesn't make me feel good to take your money. And it makes me feel guilty. So please don't think I'm ungrateful or being unreasonable. I just want you to be okay. And I can think of much better things for you to do with your money than send it to me. Because although it all does go to a good place, if I went to my mother and I said, here you go, Mum, these are the generous donations from my audience. And one of my audience members was like, if I said to my mum, and I will, I'd be like, this audience member is really struggling financially at the moment, but she decided to send me all of her money. My mum would make me send it back. Facts. And my mum is listening to this right now, so hi future Mama Gem. But yeah, and back me up, Mama. My mama would definitely, she'd be like, how dare you? How could you possibly accept it? And it's like, I don't have a choice, Mama. It comes through automatically, and she'd be like, send it back. Send it back immediately. Return it in full, because she wouldn't accept it, because she absolutely refuses to be a burden on anyone else, as do I. So thank you so much for your generosity. I very much appreciate it. But if anybody is struggling financially, please do not feel obliged to make donations to me. If you are comfortable financially and economically and you want to make donations, thank you, and I love you for it, because it all goes towards helping my mum recover. But at the same time, if it will impair you in any way, shape or form, please refrain from doing so. Keep your money and use it for yourself, your family and your own needs. If you become successful and you win the lottery, feel free to remember me. But if you're going to struggle, please do not feel obliged under any circumstances. Enough said. Now, but yes, concepts. A lollipop lady, she controls the road. Jord has offered some insight, and I love it. The lollipop lady. Now, I know this doesn't have a place in this one, but I'm going to take it down just because these concepts can be used in future episodes as well. And while a lollipop lady doesn't necessarily fit within the voted for category of the hotel, we can definitely implement that in certain areas, particularly if we follow up on some of the existing ones, like the cul-de-sac, for instance. The cul-de-sac could definitely have a lollipop lady character in it, and I absolutely love that. And I would love to see it conceptualized as well. Brilliant. Lollipop lady. Just Jord. There we go. Now, Just Jord's Lollipop Lady concept will not come up in the vote for the resident that we're going to use within the hotel, because the characters that we're going to be voting on next time we stream are going to be residents that are submitted by you that will take place within the hotel environment. Obviously, Lollipop Lady, unless she's staying at the hotel, wouldn't necessarily fit the environment, but I love the concept and the idea, and I'm hardly going to turn down a suggestion from the man himself. So if there's any artists in the chat at the moment that would like to bring that character alive, please feel free to do so, because it is definitely going to come up for a future episode. Not the first one, sadly, but there's no reason we can't use it. Gemini, you have a drip T-shirt on. Oh, thank you. I really like this one. It's a little nightmare 3. It's not official or anything like that, but I really like this shirt. It feels really good. It's good for keeping me cool. And it hugs my sleeves, which means I can flex and feel good about it. Yeah, Cyan, don't worry, it's okay. The only problem with chat is that sometimes it goes really fast, and I recognise that I'm ignoring you all. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to keep up as best I can. I promise you. I'm just a little bit slow on the uptake, but I am not ignoring you on purpose. I promise you. Let me see where we're at. At this point, I've stated my concept 3 times. I'm not going to repeat myself, so I don't want to start. Hey, Rexo, I'm sorry about that. I keep getting caught on tangents. Let me just... Rexo. Let me scroll up and find what you said, brother, because I'm not trying to be ignorant, I promise. There, Rexo. Wait, oh, third time. A child enemy like... Like the what? Like the what? No! Wait, I've got to find another one. Rexo. Rexo. God damn it, where is it? How did I keep missing it? Rexo. A child enemy. Ah, no. It still doesn't tell me. Yes, a child enemy like... I think a child enemy like the Pretender could be interesting. Parents often take their kids to hotels, so it wouldn't be a stretch. Maybe there's multiple, like, siblings or something. Oh my god, you could have, like twins. You could have the twins be a concept. And we could straight up, we could kind of, like, Little Nightmares-ify the twins from The Shining. You know, the, like, come play with us, Daniel. That kind of... Like, the twins from the... Have any of you guys seen The Shining? It's really old. Like, the movie is older than I am. That's saying something. But you guys already know it. Yeah, guys, so just a quick heads up. Oh, wait, what do you... Hey, Awakened Edits. I'm sorry, I haven't seen you in the chat before, but hello and welcome. I hope you're doing all right. Also, Byzantine Knight 1 for a new monster enemy idea. The abandoned luggage. If the player gets too close, a hand or eye comes out trying to grab you while hissing or humming. Ooh, I like that as like an unseen entity. That's cool. What do you think about the bellhop being thin figure, like 4 long arms that would lift up luggage? Oh, I like that. I actually like the concept of a bellhop or a baggage handler of some description having multiple limbs. That's actually really cool. Awakened Edits, I like that one as well. That's awesome. Also, chat, just so you guys know, I am going to be rewatching this stream and combing through this chat a lot more rigorously. Okay? So if I'm missing your stuff now, don't panic. I will see it. I promise you. And if any of these ideas really resonate with me, I will be taking them down. It's most important that you guys will share this stuff here. And if you can, send these directly to me by email, which I shared earlier on, and I'm more than happy to share again, or send it directly to me on Discord at Gemini540. Again, I can share that in here, or Katsy can do so as well as my moderator in chat. Yeah, so absolutely brilliant. Oh, what's that? Wait, Jord said, what did Jord said? Jord has spoken. Oh, missed it. She's there for the weekend. Who's there for the weekend? What did I miss? Oh, she's all right. The lollipop lady's there for the weekend. Yeah. I'd be honoured to bring characters to life. That's yeah. Honestly, it's absolutely fine. If George said yes, the answer is yes. Yeah, absolutely. You do whatever you want to do. I, for one, would love to see all of these concepts brought to life. So anything that anybody says, please don't think I'm missing it, especially not intentionally. I really, really like a lot of these ideas, and they're not all going to make it into the final product. That's why we're going to have a vote. And it's not going to be today, because obviously I would really like images like this one that Katsy's created here that I can put up in a poll and let you guys vote for. And there will be several polls that go in several different branches in all different directions to really help us to conceptualize what's going to happen. So we need to think about all the different areas that we come across in the hotel, but not tie it too directly so that it's just the More 2.0. right? So we really, really like these. Jem, what do you think of my concierge idea? I really like the idea of a concierge. I didn't read, if you'd give me a description, Stinkles, I missed it, but I'm going to just scroll up and see if I can find one. Yes, concierge could be a character for definite, and we absolutely have to have one because we have an idea for the reception area, which means you could definitely have a concierge character. If you have any nuance to that character, like a description of how they might look or how they might operate within the hotel, or something like a weakness that they might have, it would be even more helpful because that's going to help us to conceptualize it when it comes to drawing this character, because the artists in the community are going to be reading these descriptions and having like a really detailed description of how these characters look, how they operate, and how they function within the hotel environment would be really, really helpful. As much as their job role works, it doesn't help to it definitely helps to have a descriptive terminology behind these characters to really help bring them alive. Maybe we can have a large snake and spiders and stuff infesting the basement. So we could. You know what? That's something that isn't often explored is the animal concept, and I tend to avoid them because most of the animals that we see within the nowhere, even though they're like unsettling, they're not too large. I mean, the insects were right, the bugs and leeches and stuff like that. If we are going to have one, then it would have to make sense in this environment though. And the only thing I ever think I saw in a hotel was rats. I did actually see an infestation of rats underneath the kitchen at one point. So rats might be an idea, but rats have been done. So it might be worth avoiding that one, but there's no reason we can't consider it. I'm trying to think of something else that you might find in a hotel as far as animals go. I don't know, puppy. I don't know. I'm not sure I can work that one. But again, it's not up to me. It's up to the community. If you guys can think of any way to expand on that idea and make it fit a little bit better than I can currently while I'm trying to keep up with chat, then yeah. Hey Jem, I can't send pics, but you send concept pictures to other artists. Yes, absolutely. So if you write me a description, Mochi, then I will send the concept. I will send those concepts to people like Propimol, like Catsy, like GKS, and to other artists within the community that might be interested in using their capabilities to bring your character design to life. And then it'll be like a collaborative effort between the two of you that I will then put in a poll for the next one, the next time we all get together and have a meeting like this, where you guys will get to vote on your favorite resident concepts, and they will be who our main character Frill ends up doing battle with in the hotel. This is Frill, also for context. This is Frill. She's adorable. This is Frill, and this is the housekeeper. Now, again, we haven't decided that the housekeeper is going to be a definite, 100% we are using this character. This is just one to show you as inspiration. It is likely to make it in because obviously Katsy's going to be a collaborator on this project and she is going to be the lead artist when it comes to developing this video because it is going to be made into a video and eventually a full series. But Katsy is my collaborator for episode 1. Frill was her character that was voted in and she's offered her services to create the artwork, which is why I've got so many concepts that she's kindly generated here for us to look at and be inspired by. And this monstrosity that she's created is another bonus idea that I pitched to her and she thought was a good idea, and then she took it in her own direction, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. But whether or not we actually use it depends on your vote, because this is going to be up there with the rest of them, but this character here by Katsy is going to be up there with the singer that Cyan recommended earlier, Mochi's receptionist, Lux Bennett Atlas's manager, an Awakened Edits character concept as well that I stopped writing down because I am a fool. But again, I'm going to go back through this chat a lot. Because obviously you guys are all sharing a whole lot of stuff at the moment and I can't possibly keep up, which is why I have to rewatch these streams, go through all of the chat, and make sure everybody gets some recognition, because there will be some absolute golden ideas in this chat right now that I've skimmed over, and you guys are going to be thinking, oh, crap, I can't believe he didn't see my idea. I will. Future Gem will. I'll be taking them into account. I'll be taking notes, and I would encourage everybody else who's in here as well to do the same thing, especially artists who are interested in being a part of this project and having your artwork featured on the channel and letting it be seen and publicized. Then yeah, you are absolutely welcome to interpret these characters by their description as you will, and then send me the pictures to either my Discord or share them on your own channel's posts and tag me in it at Gemini540, or indeed just send it directly to my email, which has been shared in the chat as well, and I'm more than happy to share again. In fact, I will. Gemini540x@gmail.com. This is my YouTube based email address. Feel free to send all of your images to this. And in fact, if you have a character description where it's like quite a detailed description of the character, where it's got like lore behind it that you don't want changing, you can feel free to include that in your email as well, and it will help us to conceptualize the character moving forwards. Alligator in the pool. I actually really like that. That's really cool, Nevada. That's cool. Spiders could work as well, Puppy. I thought about doing spiders when I was doing episode 6 of the speculative DLC, because that took place in the nest and we see a lot of spiders webs, and I was like, ooh, spiders. But I ended up working the seamstress into it and giving her own spider-like qualities as well. But yeah, spiders could definitely work. Shampoo Son, I got one. The Crafter. He would run the gift shop in the area. He's tall, but his bottom half is gone, and he's stuck on a rail system. He has 4 arms, but both bottom left and top right arm are wooden. Oh, so he's kind of like semi-mechanical. That's a cool concept, Shampoo Son. That's really cool. You know, so I quite like the idea of this, as well as, you know, having extra parts to them. Not necessarily where you're making machines out of the residents, because I feel like if you throw too much at that, it kind of loses its nuance a little bit, and you're like, well, you know, where's the line? It's the same reason why the Monster Baby didn't necessarily hit for me as hard as it should have done, and it was because because obviously it's the nowhere. You can do what you like with it. It's like, as long as you can imagine it, the nowhere can create it, even if it does just generate a pale facsimile and then twist it into a nightmarish form. But Monster Baby just seemed a little bit too mechanical for me. Tell you what really sold Monster Baby to me was the sounds. The sound design for Monster Baby, the vocalizations it made, they're what sold Monster Baby to me. I didn't necessarily enjoy I did enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't in love with the concept of Monster Baby. But the sounds it made and the vocalizations really, really made me intrinsically linked to the character, and it created an immersive atmosphere where I'm like, oh no, actually I really like this concept. This does work, but it only works in certain aspects. And I feel like by adding too much nuance, by, like, you know, you've got one character but it's got 12 mechanical arms and 3 cameras for eyes and a big spiky tail, and that's made of wood, you know, you don't want to risk being it wants to be pseudo humanoid, like to a point where you could almost mistake it for a human being, but something's just off. I think that is the recipe. Is it wants to be almost human, but it doesn't want to be so far removed from humanity that it loses its organic presence, and it's just like, well, this is very obviously a monster, right? Because, like, the chefs, for instance, they're not so obvious a monster. The teacher isn't so obvious a monster. It's just looking at them. You could show someone a picture of the teacher who wasn't familiar with Little Nightmares and be like, hey, look, I drew a person. And they're like, huh. You know, it's like, it is clearly a person, but it's just off. It's off in a twisted, disturbed, unsettling way that you can't quite pin. It's just like, why does it look so off? Why does it unsettle me so much? Why does it give me bad vibes, even though it just looks like a person? And that's the recipe. Whereas if the original concept for the teacher had wings, she was very bird inspired, and she had wings and she could fly and everything like that. And while that's a really cool concept to think about, it's so far removed from the humanesque aspect of it that I feel like it would, like, kill off her design and make her less unsettling. I think it would just be, well, this is very obviously a monster. If you want to design a monster, that's fine. But as far as the Little Nightmares world goes, I feel like the Nowhere's strength lies in its capabilities of twisting your memories and the foundation of what makes you feel uncomfortable into something that's just enough to freak you out without being so obviously a monster, if that makes any sense. Anyway, sorry guys, I know I've missed loads of chat at the moment. Let me just scroll back up a touch so that I can see where we're at. Do switchable hands for a wood carver would be a gift shop. You have to watch out for the crafts. It would be like bully. Ooh, yeah, that's interesting. He could like breathe life into his creations as well. That's cool. A giant robotic sea monster in the pool, like a mini maw. Mm. Acrobats, slender and bendy, all bones skin can bend, stretch easier than normal, and in a red outfit and a purple one that's tattered. Two twins, a boy and a girl. Ooh. See, I like that, Alison. That's actually a really cool concept. I love the idea of the twins, and I really like the way you've expanded on it in a really artistic way. Do me a favour, Alison. Draw that up. Draw that up for me and let me see. I know what you're going to say. You're going to be, but I can't draw. You can. Just draw it for me the best you can, because I'd really like to present that as somebody with artistic qualities about them. And me, like, I know you can draw, but you're not a professional like me, and you've shared that with me. And I'm not being mean, chat. I'm not being an asshole. Alison will actively say she can't draw, but she can draw to a good enough degree for me to get what you want. If you could send that to me, I'd really like to expand on that. Again, it might not be necessarily in this chapter, especially if we're making them acrobats, but it's something that we could definitely serve to play with a little bit later on. A mutated rat monster. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. Something like something with a little bit twisted. What about a thief who will steal the luggage of the residents in the hotel? While stealing luggage, he'll pick up the protagonist and will be taken to the secret basement. Ooh, that's cool as well. A thief concept. I'm going to add that to your singer concept right there. Thief. Cool. Because that's a good way to like keep the story moving, but like force you to backtrack. So we could be getting really close to the what we perceive as the end of the chapter, and then suddenly we're stolen away. Like when Runaway Kid is climbing out of the depths when he's escaped from the granny, and you think he's getting away, and then right in the last second he gets snatched up by the janitor and taken right back to the prison. I like that because it adds a sense of hopelessness to the segment. Gemini, can you show them the outside parkour segment? If I've got it in this folder, yeah, sure. Did I in here or no? I don't think I've got it saved on here, Catsy. Do I? No, I don't. I've got the bar, I've got the laundry room, and I've got and one of the room concepts, like a community. What's the word? Well, there's a particular term for that type of room, but it's like a community area. Sorry, Catsy, I can't in this one because I don't want to open Discord while I'm on here because I'm live and it's like awkward and blah. But I will definitely be sharing it in the future. Don't worry about that. Concierge could have good hearing, so you'd have to be even more careful around him. Yeah, especially as a character that has to dance with music. Receptionist description: tight-faced and a red suit and tie, has stretchy arms that you can make it so he has multiple instead if you want, or maybe both. Yeah, he could have multiple stretchy arms. Brown hair, slightly hunched back for sitting a lot. Maybe give him a nasty comb over so that he looks real greasy and unkempt. Gemini, could you check out part 1 and 2 of my comments? Agape Sorrow. Let me scroll up and see what I can find. Part 1. The virus is something that I think you could add to the lore to the hotel, as enemies were normal people, but they drink infected water and turn. Yeah, maybe they're pumping like the water from the pool. That's really twisted. It gives them like an almost fish-like quality to them. That'd be cool. Part 2 comments. Gemini, I have an idea that the main character has to dance due to sound, and what if she gets dehydrated and has to find water, but the water is infected, so you have to find clean water or else. Or yeah, or a way to filter the water to clean it. That's actually cool as well, because we can maybe even put in a scene where one of the characters undergoes some kind of transformation, so we get to see how these residents become the way they are.
I have a shirt, Little Nightmares t-shirt is Mono and Six on it. I've actually seen a couple of new merchandise that I really like. Yes, I did, Alison. I did see your comment about the idea for Acrobat Twins. I really like it. Yeah, Shining references. We like it. We like it. Um, um, gasp! A Little Nightmare stream. So unusual for us. Um, what could be cool for a hotel would be a worm slash snake slash dune like monster coming out of the laundry jet and moves through the hotel. Ooh. Wait, yeah, cat. Wait, yeah. Just a second. I'm one step ahead. Yeah, now Catsy actually suggested this. This came up in the last stream, Jord. Funnily enough, we considered drain worms. Right, so they'd be blind essentially, but they use the hotel's plumbing as a means to get up, and they can like invade people's rooms and they come up through the drains and the toilets and everything like that. And like the concept would be kind of like a leech, no eyes but just all teeth, very much like the dune worm, but on a much smaller on a much smaller level. But yeah, Jord, absolutely love that, and it shows that great minds think alike because I think it was actually Catsy that came up with that idea last time. It was probably collaborative effort, and I'll have to look back on that. But yeah, absolutely, that is something that is being thought about. It's tossed around at the moment. And thank you again, Jord. I'm so glad that you're here, bro. It really does mean a lot to have someone like yourself chilling in the chat. Just hear literal legends just chilling in my chat. Very humbling experience this is. Hotel could be a huge tortoise like being with Hotel. Oh, right, actually, Bookworm, that's really cool. Catsy, consider this as well. So, something else is that we recognise that, or at least in one of my early theories, I theorised that obviously with the signal tower being like a living being, like being a monstrous concept that just takes on the form of the tower, and then obviously when we take away its nucleus and free six from its control, we start to see it in its true form. And that got me thinking, well, what if the other areas, like the main areas that we find, are all the same? What if the maw only appears like a big metallic floating structure because it's got the lady in it, and then once the lady has been stripped away, and if six leaves and takes away the concept of what makes the maw, it loses its nucleus and therefore its form and starts to fall apart, because that is also a living, breathing creature. That's why it's got a big face and a big mouth, and that's why it needs feeding all the time. The nest could be very much the same thing, where it's actually a living entity but takes on the form of a building, like a carnivorous structure of some kind, and then everything in it is like custom built to serve it and to keep it alive. And when you take that away, it starts to fall apart. And the hotel could be very much the same thing. And I know that you and me have had a brief discussion on how the hotel could eventually come to end, or it could be revealed that it's a living being. But take this concept from Idiotic Bookworm into account as well, because I actually really like the idea of it being like maybe not a turtle specifically, but having some kind of presence where it's like it falls. Let's just take this for instance. It's not like I'm just spitballing an idea here, but let's say the hotel, we decide to we destroy the hotel in one way or another. The whole thing starts to fall in on itself and it collapses, but because it's waterside, it causes a landslide and it ends up in the water, like kind of thing. So we get to see it a little bit later on, but when it's destroyed, maybe even a dead one of these like Lovecraftian concepts that these things become after they lose their nucleus. Random 17374. I've been developing a resident called the Mechanic. He has a sagging face and eyes. He has overalls and is covered in oil and a couple of fingers. I like the idea of missing fingers. That's really cool. A mechanic is actually a really cool idea as well. That'd be something that, again, it wouldn't necessarily fit in this environment, but it's something that we can definitely write down and take account of. I really like the idea of him losing bits of himself, because obviously he might not be particularly good at his job, so he's lost a bunch of bits. In fact, it reminds me of someone. I've got an ornament downstairs, which is a plate, and it was a hand-painted, handmade plate that I bought in Greece, that was made for me specifically. It's one of a kind, by a man with three fingers. And this man had a picture of him behind him, like an old photograph. And I said, "Is that you?" And he's like, "No, this is my father." And the picture was of his dad, and his dad also had 3 fingers, and they'd both lost the same. He'd lost a finger and a thumb, and they both lost the same finger and the same thumb to the same machine, and it was the machine that he was creating the pots and stuff with. I was like, that's absolutely crazy. It looked just like him as well, because obviously they were related. But yeah, I really like that. That's cool. That's cool. Wow. Well, yes, the hotel isn't what it seems on the surface. Absolutely, Catsy. I knew there would be a worm or a leech in there somewhere. Hello, Step. How's it going? We got another legend in the chat. We got Step. We got Just Jord. We got GKS. We got some big creators up in here today. How we doing, guys? It's great to see you, Step. How are you? Where in the timeline does this take place? It's really hard to say, Stinkles, because we don't have like a set timeline specifically. Because the timeline is non-linear within the Norway, we can kind of get creative with whereabouts it takes place. So if you have an idea, but it's very dependent on when the storyline takes place, feel free to make that up. Say, like, you know, if it takes place before Six leaves the Maw, then X, Y, and Z will be your idea, and so on. And just expand on it, just make sure that you introduce that. What info do you need for drawings? Well, not specific info, but just like if there's anything really particular, like, you know, the clothes or the hairstyle or the, you know, skin and eyes and stuff like that. It's just a very similar concept. So, like, let's say if I was to bring up one of Catsy's concepts right here real quick. So if I bring up this character here, I would say that she has, like, you know, pointed fingers, long, slender hands, an emaciated frame, a wrinkled face, a permanent psychotic grin, malevolent eyes, you know, and then describe, you know, the hairstyle, and then the other more obvious stuff like the vacuum on the arm and things like that. And just try to be as descriptive as you can. A maintenance type of enemy, the engineer, where you'd find him in the back rooms of the hotel messing with the crank systems and fuses, but he's deaf though he has great vision and his hands are burnt. I'm really liking some of your concept, Shampoo Son. These are really, really cool. I like these a lot. Signal Tower's transmission pulls stuff, including the viewer's flesh towards it, and uses that flesh to build the tower and disguise itself as the tower. It's built out of disguised flesh. Vibe Check Man, you could actually be very, very accurate in that, because I know that that is just a concept and it isn't necessarily confirmed, but if you look at the artwork from the actual Little Nightmares 2 art book, it seems like that was one of the very early concepts for how the signal tower actually works. It was that viewers would get sucked into the screens, and that's why it left behind their clothing, because the reason we find the clothing all over, like everyone has been sort of evaporated from the nowhere, it's because it was sucking in the flesh and then churning up that flesh and using it as a means to fuel and give itself form. Also, my chat died, but that's okay. I hope I'm still alive. There we go. And pop out chat and scroll down and change this. There we go. Right, bring chat back over here. Let's get some inspiration on screen. There you go. Where's our chat gone? There you are. There's you guys. Say hi, guys. Hi, chat. I love Eldritch Horror. Yeah, so do I. I've actually been looking into a lot because a friend of mine's son is obsessed with Cthulhu. And in doing that, I've come across a lot more Lovecraftian lore recently. Some of the ancient beings that you find in it, like Azathoth and Yog-Sothoth and Cthulhu himself, and there's a bunch of other ones that I find really, really cool. Obviously, there'd be a little bit OTT to put directly into the Little Nightmares universe, but the concept that, like, the signal tower becomes, or the Maw could become, or in fact our hotel could become, I imagine it was very much Lovecraftian. Well, I unfortunately have to go since I have a birthday party to get to. I hope you enjoyed the rest. Thank you, Rex. I really appreciate you being here and enjoy the birthday party. I hope whoever it is has a fantastic time. Puppy, just a quick question. If our OCs get picked for the series, do we still have creative freedom to do what we want with them outside of your series? Of course, they're your ideas. Yes, absolutely. You're not essentially handing over your idea and saying, this is now yours. It's entirely your idea. It's your OC, it's your resident, it's your environment, it's your story. It is entirely up to you what you do with it. But as far as the creative project goes, we'll try and collaborate with you so that we can communicate, so that if it's anything really, really particular that it's like, please do not change this about my character. We will do our very, very best and utmost to honour your preference, because it is your character, it is your idea, it is your concept, and without you, we wouldn't be using it. So you are not submitting your character to be changed and manipulated and warped by us and our creative direction. It's more a case of you're submitting your character's likeness to be featured in the video, and then anything surrounding that character will be communicated with you more readily. It's not that you're just giving your character to us and being like, this is yours now. It's still entirely your character. Obviously, we'll be able to, like, people could take my character. Like, if I was to take Legion, my OC Legion, I'll show you a picture of Legion because I'm very proud of him and I love him very much. Scroll up. No. Legion. There you are. So, this is Legion. Got loads of pictures of Legion, but there. So this is Legion. And he is my character, my concept, and I understand everything about this character. And you guys won't. All you guys really know is what you can see at face value, and then the things that I've shared in posts and other videos and things like that. And I am more than happy for you guys to create images of Legion and stories about Legion, videos about Legion, concept arts and everything like that. Just whatever you want, you can share and you can create. You can take him and you can take this image and you can do whatever you like with it, and I welcome that. I welcome you to take your own creative direction, but Legion is still my character, and no matter what you decide to do with it, he'll always be mine, and his canon exists only in my head, and therefore I'm the only one that can actively change it or decide what will go in the lore Bible surrounding this character that belongs to me, because he is my creative intellectual property. Much like Aspen Groves, we can't change her character Garden. Or their character Garden, forgive me. Or like Catsy, we can't change Frill, because Frill is Catsy's idea and Catsy's concept. And while we can take the image and we can do whatever we want with it, because we know what Frill looks like and we have some idea of the character, we don't get to dictate what we can or cannot do canonically with that character. Same as we could come up with a fan fiction about Six or Mono or Runaway Kid or Law or Alone or Otto or any one of these other characters. But what we say is purely speculative, non-canon fan fiction. That's all it would be. Your character and your concept is entirely yours, and we would be in no way trying to step on anybody's toes. But yeah. Oh, thank you guys. That's really nice. I love to see the. I love it when you guys are. I love it when you guys are so positive about my guy. This is my boy. I love Legion so much. He's such a cool character. I really, really love him. I put my heart and soul into this dude, so it really, really makes me happy to see you guys so enthusiastic about him. Right, let me try and read through a couple of these, and then I think I'm going to wrap up the stream and let you guys get to work on creating these character concepts. Of course, I am going to be going back through all of these chats, so if I've missed you, please don't feel ignored, and please don't think I'm being rude by ignoring you, and also feel free to leave me comments. In fact, let me say this. I am going to make a post. I'm going to make a community post. So please, right here, if you're here, right now, please turn on notifications. You don't have to keep them on if they annoy you. Sometimes I only have notifications on for like 10 different channels, but I'm subscribed to about 100 of them because having too many notifications really irritates me. You can turn it off if you want to, but turn it on just for the next week or so, because I'm going to create a post and I'm going to invite you to share your concepts in the comment section of that post. and it's gonna be surrounding these characters, these concepts, and your ideas and designs. You can share them there, and I will actively go back and read them, so that if I've missed them in chat, I will see them in there, and you can share them on my channel, on my post, for me to see directly, and I will leave you a love heart, I like the thing, and I will respond to them as best I can. Even if I just send you a little eyeball, it just means I've read it, I've taken note of it, and it will be considered for the future video. Okay, so if you guys are absolutely adamant that you want me to know your concept, you've got all different ways to share it. You can share it on your own channel via community post and tag me in it. You can send it directly to me on Discord. You can send your concepts directly to me via email, or you can leave a comment on my upcoming community post, if all you have is a description of your character, and I will definitely 100% be reading through all of them and taking them all into account for our future video, and I really hope that's okay. So please turn on notifications and be ready for that, because that's going to be coming up at the beginning of next week. I'm going to put that post up, and I'm going to explain what the post is about and invite everybody to share your resident concepts with me. So if I haven't read your chats right now, I will. I might not respond to them all right here, right now, because I have to go in like 4 minutes. But please don't feel ignored. Please don't feel disrespected. And please don't feel like your contribution will not be acknowledged, because it absolutely will. There's just too many of them to get through all at once. That's all it is. No disrespect. Keep your ears open and eyes open for my upcoming community post, and please share your ideas, because all of them are going to be going into my magic book here of ideas, and they're all going to be shared and considered and potentially make it into this series, so that all of us get to contribute something, whether it be a resident, a concept, or even just a random idea, right? Excellent. All right then, guys. So, I think I better. Oh, well, I'll end this here because I want to see what the poll came up to. Let me see. So, 51% of you guys feel like you could get through the Nowhere for 24 hours, maybe if you had a friend. 38% of you feel like you could quite confidently navigate the Nowhere in a 24-hour period, and then there's 11% of you that absolutely do not think that you would that you would be able to navigate the Nowhere. And I feel like I potentially could, but only because it's like my whole life, right? It's literally everything I do. I feel like people like myself and Jord and a lot of you guys in chat, we know the Nowhere, and we know its law so very well that if anyone stands a chance of surviving 24 hours in the Nowhere, it'd have to be us. But we are going to wrap up the stream, and what better way to do it than with a sacrifice? Who wishes to volunteer themselves to be my protein source for this evening? Because I am hungry. Would anybody like to be volunteered as a sacrifice, or do I have to start pulling people out, kicking and screaming into line? Gemini, if I make characters, can I send them to your DMs? Yes, absolutely, Lil Sasha. You can send whatever you like to me via DM. Stream, I agree. I feel like it's been a fantastic stream, and that is thanks to you guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Aspen Bro, we got a lot of volunteers today. Vibe Checkman, Aspen Groves, and Caleb already volunteered. Excellent, excellent. Do it to me. Looks better. Atlas says, that might be that. Yeah, I think I might take that as a volunteer actually. Right. When will the next live take place? Probably in a month. Can I send you my OC? Yes, Looks Better Atlas, please do. Feel free to send you my OC in any way you feel like I will get to see it. I have to go feed my sheep, so probably won't be... Oh, please pet your sheep for me. I feel like you guys could make a group and hide out in the Nowhere and to protect children. Y'all are strong enough to fight the monsters. Maybe, but it depends, because if the teacher shows up, I will straight up, I'll be like, take them all. I don't care about the take them, get away from me. All right, engage, start a poll. Who will serve as my protein source today. Sacrifice volunteers. Aspen Groves. Vibe check, man. Agape Sorrow. And Smith. Does the sacrifice pay well? No, it gets you banned. How many concepts will be made by the artist? Sorry for your question. It depends how busy they are. That's why I would actively invite you to create your own artwork, even if it's not particularly good, because I'm more than prepared to share your artworks. Like I'll be sharing my own as well. Caleb. Alright then, guys. Who will serve as my protein source for today? We've got options. 4 delicacies in the form of Aspen Groves, Vibe Checkman, Agape Sorrow, and Caleb. Whoever you decide, whoever you vote for will be sacrificed to me, and they will be actively banned from chat by a time designated by myself. What do you think, guys? Cast your votes. You have 3 minutes. No, 4 minutes. Oh. God, I'm so hungry as well. All I can think about now is the chicken I've got downstairs, because I am going to cook up some nice spicy chicken and I am going to drown it in maple syrup, because my brother bought me some maple syrup the other day and I'm obsessed with it, and it turns out you can put it on anything, literally anything. I can put it on fries, on beef, on chicken, on fish, on meat, on sandwiches, on ice cream. You can literally put maple syrup on anything and it makes it better. I might very well put maple syrup on whoever is voted into this sacrifice right now, because I am straight up gonna consume this person. So cast your votes, people. Who do we want to get banned? My birthday is coming up. Can you say happy birthday, Cyan? Of course I can say happy birthday, Cyan. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Thank you so much for your contributions today, and I'm hoping to see some of your works produced and up and coming. Happy birthday. I really hope you enjoy your day, whenever it might be, and have one on me. Have a piece of cake. Cover it in maple syrup. Sacrifice a piece of cake for me. You have chicken. Why do you need protein from us? Because I need more protein. I can't get all of my protein from one little chicken. I need a human being to devour. On the 30th of April, well, I hope on the 30th of April you have an absolutely fantastic day. It's actually Katsy's birthday on the 30th as well. I like how everyone's just saying sacrifice now. Alright, let me get some eyeballs in the chat to show respect to whoever we're going to be sacrificing. I can't currently see who's winning this. I think it's Vibe Check Man at 50%, but I am not sure. I love it how we have a cult. You're not even wrong. We straight up have a cult. This is a ritual, by the way. For those of you guys that are new to chat, this is a common thing. Like, at the end of every stream, I will randomly sacrifice someone and they will get banned and actively consumed, and we'll never see them again. Smother them in maple syrup and let them drown in that sweet goodness. Yes, eyeballs. We got eyeballs in the chat. You guys already know how it be. You guys know the drill. Give it some. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Alright then. 60 seconds left until we decide who this sacrifice is going to be. And then I'm going to call it a day. So, with Gemini, what about the false tile? Like, some of the tiles in the basement would jump off the walls like spiders, similar to the hands from Little Nightmares. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, that's definitely something to consider, Agape Sorrow. I heard that you're in a room with 20 people, you might have the same birthday and it came true. Yeah, fact. Absolute fact. You actually share your birthday with a surprising amount of people. Yeah, you see that? You're not special. No, you absolutely are special. You're special to me. You matter to me. You are my sustenance. Literally. So yeah, vote ends in 6 or 7 seconds. I see what you did there. Boom! Poll has ended. Vibe check man's at it. Why did you get so many votes? God damn it. Vibe check man's at it. Right, where Vibe check man, congratulations. You are today's sacrifice. You foolish mortal. Do you have any last words? Make them good. And then I'm going to wrap up this stream. It's been awesome. Thank you guys so much for your kindness, for your generous donations, for submitting your OC characters and your ideas. It has been an absolute pleasure chilling with you all. I am going to just really quickly grab a link to It's Just George's channel, because I would very much like you guys to jump over there and show the boss man some support, because it's got, well, number one, it's going to be a dope stream, but also, hey, Propetmall's doing something new. Awesomeness. Sorry, I'm just right here randomly promoting people now. It's just Jord. This is Jord. This is the man himself. I'm going to copy and paste. I hope he doesn't mind me doing this. This is a link to Jord's channel. Why didn't my message send? I don't know, but it might be the last one you get to send. Vibe check man, you better show up to George's stream. As better you all. In fact, that will be my decree as your cult leader. I want everybody to go on over to It's Just George's stream, which will be coming up shortly. I think he said 10. I'm not sure if it was going to be 9 or 10, but it's going to be soon. So pop over to George's channel. Make sure you've subscribed and turn notifications on for both myself so that your concepts can be seen and heard in the comment section on my upcoming poll. And make sure you check out George's upcoming stream, because he's going to be playing Altered Echoes VR and he's going to be wrapping it up today, and I can't wait to see how it ends. And I will also be active in his chat. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, especially you, Vibe Check Man. Block. Goodbye, Vibe Check Man. Thank you all so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I will see you all next time. But until then, little ones, that's game over. Bye.